We gotta let y'all vibe out to that for a little bit. Everybody like that song in the show. What's going on, y'all? It is Tuesday, 8 o'clock, maybe a little after 8 o'clock. We was talking backstage, didn't even realize what time it was, man. But that's how it gets here on the CheckSwing Podcast. But welcome back to the CheckSwing Podcast with myself, with Coach Santa, the brains and brawn of the situation, and of course the Hall of Famer Rob Battle is back with us in the building. Welcome back, Rob. It's been a crazy time since you've been going, Rob. It's just been a few weeks, but it's been crazy on the sports world. A lot to talk about, but really what we really want to talk about today is the Eagles and what they've been doing. But before we get into all that, I ask my folks, man. You know, I like to start my show. Zip up a little bit. Gotta ask y'all how y'all been, man. So how y'all been?
Been great, man. Been great. Life and over here. We've been in the middle of a move. But I will say this to highlight my two girls. They're headed down on a train right now with my mom down to Birmingham for Thanksgiving, and my mother-in-law is with my sister-in-law. So this is the first time, you know, me and the wife is just by ourselves in a long time. So we're gonna enjoy this next few days.
Hey, Miguel, hold on. Look in his eyes, man.
I know it. You see the glimmer. You see the shine. He was like,
I will say this, man. It's really quiet, man. You know, when
it is now. But hey, give it a few hours.
Man. Well, I don't know how to even come back from that one, but welcome back, man. Welcome back.
Y'all could be jumping off the bunk bed that's behind you.
That's a heck of a background you got there, Rob. I'm just going to go ahead and say that.
Superfly Jimmy Snooker.
Oh man!
I stalled. I try to get my camera turned around on my phone. So I want to get into it. I don't know what happened to my notes over here, but I want to get into it.
Oh, Justin, I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're good. We're good.
My bad, Brody.
It's all good. It's all good.
My bad. I want to get into it, man. Like, so, and Miguel, I'm hoping that you have the notebook because you wrote everything down, right? The Eagles right now are what, 9-2?
Yes.
9-2, coming off the win last week against out in LA. They beat the Rams. 9-2 team, first place in the NFC East. Number 2 seed right now, currently in the NFC behind the Lions, who are just rolling over everybody right now. And I want to I gotta ask you to go back into the notebook, Miguel.
Uh-oh.
And I want to know, because I didn't write it down, what we picked this particular week against the Ravens, because the Eagles play the Ravens this week, and we're going to get into that. But I would like to know what we all picked as far as this game is concerned.
Right, hold on, let me see.
That changed for any of us.
Hold on, I gotta find the right notebook. That is Bill's. That's the voice lawyer. Okay, hold on. I think I found it.
What he say? Oh, what he say?
Bill's and divorce lawyer.
Oh, jeez. Oh, Lord.
Hold on.
Well, I believe I had him at like a 13-4 or.
You always have him at like 15 and or 16-1. That's what you always have him at.
Because every time we do that segment,
you didn't give him 4 losses, Justin. You didn't give him 4 losses.
Say what?
I don't think
4 losses.
Even you didn't give him 4 losses. You usually give them like you've never given the Eagles back-to-back losses.
No, I haven't. Well,
I feel like I picked them to lose this week. I mean, it's in Philly.
It's in Baltimore.
Yeah,
so I know I definitely picked them to lose this week.
I don't know if I picked them to lose. I feel like I might have picked them to lose this one, and then also to beat the Steelers because the Steelers were not supposed to be this good. But while Miguel finds or not finds, what we had picked. Rob, I want to ask you since you're back this week and you're about to have such a great weekend. Um, how are you feeling about the Birds as far as what you've seen and this week? Like, how are you feeling about them?
I'm liking it, man. I like the dedication to the run. Uh, Saquon is having a historic year right now. I mean, he was over 1,000 after 10 games. Um, I think the defense of that defensive front is stepping up. I like the young guys in the back. Uh, my feelings for Darius has not changed. I think he needs to retire. I can't.
Yo, how,
Once I'm on it, man. Once I'm on it, once I smell the blood, I can't, man. I can't.
For you, is it an age thing or is it a performance thing?
I think it's both. I think it's an attitude thing. I think listening to the way he been speaking over the past years tells me that he's checked out. And one of the things that's a result of that are the constant injuries.
Yo,
if you're not all in, if you're not fully committed to a sport, especially a sport as volatile as football, you're going to get injured. And I think that's what's happening.
was it weird? Wasn't he like down? Like didn't trainers come out for him like 5 or 6 times during the game?
Yeah, and I would say it's age because of his experience, which is a good thing. He does a good job positioning himself because he has to. That comes with experience. That's like Rod Woodson moving to say, like, you learn how to make sure you're in the right spot because you can't afford to make those mistakes. You can't cover those mistakes anymore. So you have to make sure that you're in the right spot. You're studying more to make sure you're in the right spot because if not, you don't have that extra gear to make up for those any mistakes or missteps.
Well, I'll tell you what, and Miguel, I'll let you chime in right after this. In the beginning of the season, Rob, I would agree with you 100%. Right? The injuries have been a concern for sure, but he's been playing pretty good this year. Which I really, I'm not that I didn't expect him to stink or anything like that, but I expected probably more of a decline being he's a 33, 32, 33 years old. I expected a bit of a decline because last year I felt like he didn't play that well. Um, he had his moments. This year, I thought he's been pretty decent. It's probably a product of the entire defense, but
Yeah, I think you got to look at his one-on-one plays.
say again.
He needs a lot of help. When he's in there, they're doing a lot of help with him. When he gets caught man to man, he fried chicken.
Well, I guess Vic been scheming. It's for him.
Yeah, I mean they're doing a good job, and those front guys, man. I feel bad for B Graham, man. He was having a good season.
Yeah.
This might be it for him, man. He's 15 years.
Yeah, well, he said, no matter what. At one point, he did say, no matter what, this is his final year. So, we'll see. Because a lot of times injury happens, and then you be like, oh, I don't want to go out like that. But then I feel like as you get older, you chase that healthy season, and those are between as you get older.
But then it's like, yo, do I want to go through all of that to get ready again? To go through it all over again?
Exactly. Miguel, what you got? What you found the documents?
I found the documents. So Rob had an L for this week, and I had an L for this week, and you had an L for this week.
Right.
And by the way, that was I think that is one of only 3 losses for you this season.
Yeah, because I think I had them. I don't remember who I had them losing to, but I obviously it was them.
You had you
I
let
think
me-
Dallas one time, didn't I? Or was I like over
Yeah, you
exaggerating?
definitely had them losing to Dallas once.
you had them losing to Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Baltimore.
Mm.
And yeah, and
You
when
had you had them at 14-3 for the season.
look, I had
I picked them to lose next week, didn't I? To the Steelers.
We play Carolina next week, and then we all have W's for next week, and then you have them losing against the Steelers,
Thought I did.
but
which
still,
may
so that could be a good. Well, I thought it was the Steelers next week too. That's crazy.
no, it's
Uh,
Carolina.
okay, well, it is what it is. So, but let me see. For me, I'm. I guess I'm a lot more confident now than I was when we picked this in the beginning of the season. Um, I feel confident that the Eagles will win this game. I think they'll pull this game out. I think the offense is pretty strong against that Ravens defense. You know, they're a defense. Not the Eagles defense, they're a defense though.
Well, the defense on the Ravens, it's like a tale of two cities. Um, it has holes in it that I think the Eagles can pick apart if Jalen can get it started early. He can't afford to start off slow, which the last couple games I think he's been getting better at. So, one good thing though, as far as like defensively, so the one comparison between the two defenses is the Ravens have 39 sacks. They've played one more game than us, but they have 39 sacks compared to our 33. We're tied for interceptions. And this was a big one. Eagles have caused already 11 fumbles,
Hmm.
of which 7 have been recovered. The Ravens have forced 8 and recovered 4. So the Eagles are getting a lot of turnovers, which historically has not happened. Even in the Super Bowl year, we haven't really been good at turnovers on defense. This year, it's like we're getting sacks off the edge. Um, we're getting stops on fourth down. We're getting stops in the red zone. It's like we're doing all the things defensively that we needed to do, even the last year that we went to the Super Bowl. So it's like that seems to be coming together.
What's crazy is I'm just thinking while you're talking, I was thinking about my picks for
Mhm.
in the beginning of the season. And I made those picks, and I'm not going to sit here and act like, yo, I predicted they're going to be this good because I did not think they were going to be this good. I'm just be honest. But I made those picks thinking that the defense was going to be shaky. I didn't believe in the defense coming into the season.
And that's legitimate because it's a whole new scheme. You got new personnel. You got rookies to try to develop. So it's like you got to give it like the Mulligan year. But I think it took like, let's see, probably in the after the Tampa Bay game, I think that's when everything was like, okay, let's we know we now have, and let's make this click on defense, and they're making the adjustments like Rob was saying earlier.
Yeah, I would like to see, and I know it's not an individual thing, but I definitely would like to see Saquon have a really good game just to extend that later on the MVP race. As I know
We'll
Lamar
get into
Jackson's still up there, Derrick Henry's still up there. I would like to see that. I would like to see that. I'd like to see our defense,
that conversation. We're
you
going
know,
to get into that conversation.
slightly them, and I like to see Saquon have a big game. Just to elevate him in the race.
It's funny. My coworker, we've been actually begging for an Eagles Ravens Super Bowl for like the last I don't know 3 or 4 years. So we're like, oh, this is the prelude to, this is not finally, it's not a preseason game. This is an actual real, primetime game and, all that good stuff. So,
But I think he won't. For some reason, man, like Lamar just can't. They can't get right. That team, I don't want to put it all on him. I'll say that team just can't live up to the expectation.
see, but this year,
This year ain't gonna make it.
this year, I can't put a lot of that on Lamar because I watch a lot of the games because I mean it's the local games kind of are superior here, and like you take I think the Steelers game was kind of an aberration, but he's in every game and he's making passes like a quarterback now. You know what I mean? That one fluke loss against the Browns, for instance, that was really on the defense. Because I forget his name. He dropped a surefire pick in the fourth quarter and allowed.
Why is it to that point though? I mean, that's the thing. Like, why is it even? Why is it to the point where because he dropped the pick that has an effect on the game? Y'all should have ran through those guys. Like when you're that type of team, like you gotta those games you have to win. Good teams win the games that they have to win, and they're able to muster up and win the majority of the games that maybe they're not supposed to win or tough games. But the definite games you gotta win, man. They gotta be in the bag.
Which is true, and I think too because those were division games too, Browns and Steelers. Those are always, and I don't care. It never fails. It's always. You very rarely do you see blowouts in division games, even no matter how bad the team is. It's just that's kind of like just common nature. From them just knowing what you did the year before, and they're always like fighting to for the division lead, and it's like those division games. It's any given Sunday.
Yeah, the division games they've been crazy because who would have thought the Cowboys would have beat the Commanders the other day? Like I wasn't expecting that.
That game was stupid.
When I heard what happened, when I saw what happened, yeah, that was dumb.
I said the game was over. My boy was like, "Yo, this they just scored again." It was like 20. I was like, "Oh, it's over." And then I didn't even realize what happened until I was watching highlights from the game. I was like, "What the hell?" They let the dude get an 87-yard touchdown and all of this stuff, and then the dude missed the extra point.
Oh, that was.
I hate to be the guy, yo.
But you notice, I think that was actually like his third miss of the day. Is it me or are kickers missing like more than ever this year?
It probably seems like that because Jake Elliott just missed like 2 last week.
But again, in the Dallas game, the Washington kicker missed a lot. There was another game. Was it the Buffalo Chiefs, the Bills Chiefs game? There was quite a few games where just kickers were just missing left and right.
So I'll even take it a step further that the kickers have been missing a lot more since they moved the extra point back. I mean, yeah, the extra point. Since they moved that back, the kickers missing a lot more kicks in general.
Right, but that's all. But even take out the extra point, they're still missing more. That freaking the kicker from the Ravens, who's probably one of the best in football. In that Cleveland game, he missed like 3 field goals. So it's like an epidemic of just like kickers not missing. Or kickers missing.
You know what I think is part of it? For some reason, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a new dedication to somebody really just wanting to crack that special teams code. But there's been way more blocked field goals this year.
That's true too. Yeah.
A lot of field goals. So now I feel like for the first time, kickers actually have some fear to worry about that somebody might block it.
Yeah, it's
I
like
think that comes into play.
I can't remember. I can't remember which Madden it was, or it may have been NFL Game Day. You know how you tried to get the one guy that would split the center and the guard, and he would just be up like this and block every kick. I can't remember if that was an old Madden game or an old Game Day game. Once you figured out that, then you were blocking the field goals all the time.
It's like, and it makes you not want to kick.
I don't know which game that was, but I surely didn't know that cheat code right there. I wish I had.
Oh man.
Yeah, if y'all know, hey, if anybody out there knows what game that was, let us know, because maybe I still have that game somewhere. I don't know. Let's talk a little Saquon. Let's talk a little Saquon. Man, let me tell you.
I guess that guy that was in the office, I don't know if that was the GM, who that was. I guess he's getting no sleep.
It was the GM and the owner, I believe.
And the owner. The owner was the one that said, if he goes to Philly, I'll be sick.
He said, I have a hard time sleeping at night. So yeah, he's not sleeping at all right now.
Because this kid is special. I knew he was good, right? I knew he was elite. I knew he was great when he was with New York, and I just know he didn't have offensive line. I didn't know he was this good, man.
This dude nice.
Wow.
He said,
I didn't know he was this good, man. How y'all feeling about Saquon? I mean, backwards hurdle. They didn't put a backwards hurdle in the video game.
Who even thinks, like, what was he thinking on that play? Like,
he was thinking,
I can get this poster of all time.
Yeah,
that poster's sick.
Yeah,
you know, I never even thought about it. I gotta find that picture. I'm hanging it up. Down.
You get that, and you get Saquon to sign it. That's gold.
Yeah, for sure.
That is gold.
And it's got to be somewhere. Somebody's got to have that.
It's hard to catch that post. That's right up there with Vince jumping over the dude in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a once in a lifetime. You just have to be lucky enough to have clicked the button at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Just because.
I mean, it wasn't an iconic moment, like, but it's right up there with those images, man. The image Ali joint, like that poster is. Somebody captured that. That's fire. That is. I've seen it. Somebody sent it to me in text, and I'm like, yo, that's sick. That's a sick photo.
Speaking of this picture right here, right over here on my shoulder, right here, one of my favorite sports pictures of all time.
There you go.
Story behind it. One of my favorite. That's why I have it right there. A dope poster can really set something off. The kid, it's funny calling him a kid, right? But the kid set a record. And did y'all see this? He gave away the
dude, that was the funniest.
He gave the ball away.
So
just gave it away. Like, just gave it away right away. Just threw it. Like, I think he jumped in something. He did something, but he gave it away. Then he gets on the sideline. I guess he finds out that he had broke a record, set a record or whatever. And he was asking the ball boy, y'all get that ball? He said, gave it away. Man.
He was like, his reaction was like, oh, man.
Well, so wait a second. So, because I didn't look, I didn't go online or whatever. So he had 302. Was that total?
302 was total, but he ran for 255 yards.
Okay.
Which broke Shady's record for most of the game.
Okay.
What was Shady's record? Do you remember what Shady's record was?
Oh man, it was like 220 something.
Was that the game against the Bills, the snow game?
Lions in the snow game. It was against Detroit.
Thank you. Yeah, the Lions in the snow game. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, I have mixed feelings about like the accolades, the trophies, and stuff. Because at the end of the day, it's like, what am I doing? What are we doing with it? Like your grands will see, like, oh, that's the full, like, oh, that's cool. But I mean, for me to hold it, it'll probably mean so much more to somebody else. Maybe a fan or whatever. I don't know. For me, it's just going to be there on display, and it's just like,
Are you talking about the ball or what? Do you? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
just like trophies and like the ball, the
Uh,
any other trophies and all that stuff. Just
are you speaking from
a
the
different
athlete
museum.
perspective?
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. And it's fun, not funny, but it's interesting that you say that because you always hear about, and for whatever the reason may be, you always hear about a athlete that's won a championship selling their ring. Hear
Mhm.
about that a lot. Selling a trophy or something like that, auctioning it off, stuff like that. Um, it was not Tyson Chandler, basketball player, former basketball player. He probably should still be playing basketball. He was in a car accident and can't think of his name, but he said he would rather have something than a championship ring. I forgot what it was, but like I said, it's funny that you say that because what do you do? Like Rob, you won championships.
Yeah,
What do you
I've
do?
like I've had my first championship I won in Argentina. It was cool. They're trying to make it as much like NBA as well. They bought it. They got us championship rings. They were a solid gold championship rings. And I remember buying. I think I bought two more or three more. I think they were like $1,000 each. I bought one for my mom, one for my dad. I don't remember if I bought one for my brother or not, but I bought extra rings. I don't even know where it is. I know I lost one. I don't even know where they are. And I got another one from Venezuela. I got another one from the second championship in Argentina. I don't know where they are. And sometimes it's cool to wear them, but like when you're an athlete, when you're in the moment, like you get those things, like you're reluctant to wear them. It's just like, yo, I won. Most of us aren't like, yo, look at my rings. Like I'm rocking my rings out. We going out to dinner. Hell, check out my championship ring. It just so they sit there. They sit there. You don't see some of them dudes might put them on. They go around the other like NBA player or whatever, but they don't wear the rings. You ain't seeing Shaq and all them just rocking their championship rings. It don't. It just don't. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It's nice to have the thought is great, but you're really not going to use it. It's kind of like the active military, right? They don't really like taking advantage of they kind of modest, low key. But the veterans, now that they're past that point, they're like, yo, Veterans Day, free stuff. Like, hey, yo, let me get my free meals. They hopping, you know what I mean? They free meals for the day. But you won't really see as many active people doing it. It's just, I don't know.
So as an athlete, and we didn't shifted the whole conversation, but I like this conversation. So as an athlete that has won a championship, what's of course when you win it, you're excited, it's great and all like that. But then when it's when it's all said and done, and you moved on to the next phase of your life, how much do those championships mean to you now? And I'm not just talking about the trophies or like the fact that you won. Does it mean a big deal to you, or is it just like I was in the league, I was playing, and
That no, the championships mean a lot. They mean everything.
okay,
If I didn't have a ring to go with it, it don't matter. I know I'm a champion. That's what it's all about. And I listen to Gilbert Arenas and all them. Like, oh, I'll take 50 million and not a championship. I may be dumb, and then people might think I'm silly. I'm taking a championship because I'm a winner. I want to win. I don't want like that's why we're playing. Yeah, we have we're blessed to make money doing it, but I want to win. I want to win.
play to win the game.
I was never. I put up good stats, but I was never like the 30-point scorer. I never averaged 30 in mine, but I averaged. There's times where I've won championships. I've been the best player in the league. I've only averaged 15 points, but I average rebounds. I just make the team better.
Right, total package. You do
You
the work.
can't. You really can't put a price on it.
Gotcha.
You know.
I got you.
You
Because
just.
like I think about like and of course this ain't on the same levels. Don't laugh at me, Rob. But I think about trophies I won as a youngin, winning a championship. As I don't even know where they are. Actually, my mom asked one time like where they are. I think I had took the top part of the trophies off and just kept the part like with my name on it. And I don't even know what I did with them.
But guess what? You remember it, right? You ain't never forget. And
Remember
you
everything.
probably know, was this baseball?
Baseball, basketball, soccer.
And
Yep.
I bet you probably know who your catcher was and who. Oh yeah, Johnny, that play Johnny made. You don't forget. I had my teammate who played with me on the team, my first championship with Argentina, Libertad. He hit me up today out the blue because he commented on my post, my gym post, and he was like, "I got a question, just between me and you, just between me and you. Uh, who you love more? Libertad, that was my first team I won a championship, or Kimsa, which is the jersey you saw we have on today." And I'm like, "Come on, bro!" But like, even him just hit me up. I get a feeling just talking to him because we did something special. We brought the first ever league championship there. Same way with Keemston. So it's like I told him, I was like, he's like, "Come on, man, just answer the question. It's easy." I was like, "It's not that simple. It's not that simple. You're asking me to tell you. That's like asking me, who do you love more, Diana or Peyton? My two daughters. Like, I can't do that. I can't do that."
So Rob, let me ask you this, and then we'll go back to the football conversation because this is a question that I've been thinking about lately when it comes to professional athletes and what they put into the game, right? And I don't want you to answer this question from a what you put into the game perspective. I just want a general like thought perspective, right? Let's say, I don't know cities that you play for. I don't, but as a fan in Philadelphia, right? For me, if I'm sure if I was a professional football player and I'm in the league and I have an opportunity to be in the league, I'm gonna take that opportunity or whatever. But if I end up getting drafted by the Cowboys, right? I'm excited, right? I'm glad to be there, but I've grown up an Eagles fan, and I'm like, now I gotta kick ass for the Cowboys. Like how does an athlete go from like being a fan of a team to having to care about a team that you never really cared about, thought about, whatever the case may be? Or is it just the game itself? It's not about where you are.
Like Saquon.
I think it's just I think these players that tell you like, oh, they don't think about it, or they want to say like the politically correct thing, but it's on your mind. You think about it, but I mean, you got drafted. That's your dream. You play for the Cowboys. I mean, that's what it is. I think. I mean, you won't voice it, but you're gonna kick their ass every chance you get. But you're still gonna have love for your city. You probably still. Well, it's kind of hard to want them to do well because they're in the same division, but yeah, it's just a job, man. You just gotta lock in. I mean, it'll cross your mind like, damn, there's a team in the same city. The team I play for, Teamster, there's a team Olympico. They're both in the same city. Santiago is like where our team is, like the main city part is like, I guess you could say the money area. La Banda, where Olympico is, that's like the dirt. That's where the cats come from, the dirt. You know what I mean? Right. So their fans are vicious. I had the choice right now. They're like, hey, we'll bring you back. I couldn't. I don't know if I could play for them. I don't know if I could play for Olympico. It runs that deep. It runs that deep.
Really?
But I mean, if you dangle enough money, I'll put on the black and white.
Miguel, didn't we talk about a player? Was it Harold Carmichael?
Two, it was Harold Carmichael because that was the year he retired. He signed with the Cowboys. He said I played with them for 2 weeks, and after like the one practice, I just couldn't do it. And then
I didn't know
and
that.
and people didn't know that Jackie Robinson actually signed with the New York Giants at the time. And he was in spring training, went through the whole spring training, and he decided to retire from the sport of baseball than to play with the Giants. That's how deep that rivalry was. And you're
Mm.
only talking about Brooklyn to Washington Heights, Harlem. Same city. They absolutely hated each other. He could not live with himself in the Giants uniform.
Yeah,
Always find that interesting,
it
right?
runs
'Cause
deep.
I don't know. I mean, I know I'm getting paid to play. I'm going to do it, and I want to play. But like, if I had to play baseball for the Mets, like, oh,
For us in high school, it would have been like because we went to Northeast. I'd be like us
Central.
playing for Central. We couldn't
right.
play for
One of
yeah.
my best friends is a Lancer.
It'd have been like playing for Chester. Like, I can't do it. Now Penwood kids would probably be like Academy Park. Anyway, let's get back to the football conversation. Um, get back to football conversation. We're here on the CheckSwing Podcast. Appreciate y'all hanging with us. Put y'all comments put y'all comments in the comment section. I'll put your comment in the comment. And let us know what you think. We're about to get into power rankings. Okay. I want to know what your NFL power rankings are. Y'all can give me y'all opinions on what your power rankings are. The top 5 teams, right? We got to make it top 5. So you gotta get to that fifth one and say, maybe, I don't know. But Miguel, I want you to go first. I want you to go first because you
I gotta
are in
look.
the city of Baltimore, and you are an Eagles fan, and it just makes it extra special. So go ahead. You're going. You're going
So
first.
you want me to give you my top five?
Yep, your top 5 in the NFL right now. Your best 5 teams. Your 1 through 5. Don't put too much thought into it. It's just fun.
I hate to say.
Does it
I
have to
know.
be in order?
Yeah, your best is number 1 and on down.
Both all like just top five. Everybody, not AFC top five, NFC top five. Just
Top
everybody.
5 NFL.
Got it. I mean, you gotta go Chiefs for one.
Really?
Hmm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll let you finish. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah. Does it deserve an explanation or no?
Well, go through your 5 and then you can explain if you want.
So KC one, I would go Detroit two. Hmm. Eagles would be three.
The Eagles 3.
Eagles three. I'd go. Did something happen
Yeah, I'm playing some music in the background while you think.
while I do that? Okay, you threw me off. You got to cue it up. You got to let me know when you can do it. I'd go Buffalo four. My fifth would probably be a tie between Baltimore and the Steelers.
No ties.
But let me. I'm gonna pick. Gonna pick.
No ties.
But it was gonna be between Buffalo. I mean, Baltimore and Pittsburgh. But I'd have to lean towards Pittsburgh. I got to get Pittsburgh the 5 spot.
Pittsburgh beat 'em.
Yeah.
Gotta get Rob. Gonna go to you next.
Yes, sir. I'm going with Detroit, Kansas City, Birds, Bills, Ravens.
Even though the Bills beat Kansas City,
Yeah.
okay, all right. I'm a bit different. And I kind of feel like I'm crazy. but a lot of times my takes on this show are crazy until y'all realize I'm right. Um, I'm going Detroit 1. I agree with Rob there. I'm going with Detroit 1. I'm thinking Buffalo 2. Thinking Buffalo 2, right? I want to put the Eagles there, but I'm going to go Buffalo 2 just because they're kind of surprising. Like I thought Buffalo was going to stink this year, to be honest with you, but they're rolling. I'm going to go Philly 3. Then I'm going to go Kansas City. That's 4.
That's 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to go what I said. I said Detroit, Buffalo, Philly, City. And I want to put the Ravens up there, but I can't. And I really don't feel like I can put the Steelers up there either. To be honest with you, because that quarterback situation, I can't put you in my Power 5. Can't score in the red zone, like literally.
Put the Chargers up there.
Chargers, and I can't do that because they lost to the Ravens last night, right? So I can't put the Chargers up there. But the Chargers look decent though; they look good. But I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with. And I really don't want to. I don't believe in Minnesota.
Yeah, I was about to say nobody named Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I don't know what it is, man. Like
you believe in Dalton?
It's Dalton.
Darnold.
Dalton.
Oh, Darnold. I'm sorry. I keep saying Dalton. Darnold.
Sam Darnold. I kind of.
It's hard. It's
Miami balling right now too.
They're decent. I can't put Miami top 5. So I'm gonna go. I want to go with Green Bay, to be honest with you, but I'm going to go Minnesota. But I believe Green Bay is the second best team in that division.
They're actually the third best team in that division.
No, I'm saying I think they are the second best team. Like I think they're better than Minnesota.
Yeah. I think Darnold is benefiting from having an actual squad versus whatever they call that in New York.
Yeah, with New York just releasing their starting quarterback too,
and keeping I think what they're getting hit with like $30 million in dead money or something astronomical like that.
And then, but there was talk about Aaron Rodgers getting released too.
Aaron Rodgers was done his last year in Green Bay. He just needs to hang it up, shake hands, call it a career.
Wasn't he in the MVP conversation his last year in Green Bay?
No, because he blew his Achilles up. Oh, his last year in Green Bay. I mean, yes and no, but yeah.
The conversation.
The last couple of years, even with Brady, like they're always in the conversation, but you know, I don't know that he really had a true MVP season.
That's crazy.
Well, we know he ain't having one this year.
They just got rid of Saquon because they talking about we paying his money to Daniel Jones, and then they release him.
And they released him.
They are sick right now.
I
don't even know how that front office keeps food down.
They probably don't.
They showed a segment too. I don't know if you saw this because he had his daughter and I think his son. His son, I think, is in college. And his son, and mind you, this was back before the draft. He's just laying on the couch and he's like, you know what? If you play your cards right, you can actually trade up and get Jaden Daniels. So he's like, okay, so who do you have? You have Jaden Daniels, you have who? You have who? So he's literally going around and just asking random people in his office who we should draft.
Who was doing this?
The general manager was doing this, and then he asked his son, what do you think? Who should we draft? He's like, you should trade up and get Jaden Daniels. And when they had the opportunity to, they didn't.
Because they wanted to pay Daniel Jones.
Right.
Even Daniel Jones, which I've never understood that.
So can you imagine if they played their cards right, they have Saquon, and they have Jaden Daniels? that the general manager should be fined.
They still would have had an offensive line.
But you still have a more formidable quarterback, and you still have, even without the line, Saquon still did a little something.
But here's the thing.
Quarterback that can get out the way.
You got a quarterback that can move, right? But you got a rookie quarterback behind that offensive line. He ain't gonna learn nothing. He ain't gonna grow as a quarterback. It ain't gonna happen. He's gonna be running for his life.
Well, you see what's going on with Caleb.
For who?
Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Prime example. Prime example.
It's the microwave society we in now, man. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterbacks don't have to develop anymore.
All the business. We have. I know Miguel wanted to talk about something about baseball, and we're gonna get to that in just a minute. But I want to ask you guys. I'm gonna put y'all on the spot because I didn't get to tell y'all before the show. But I got a question for you. With Thanksgiving coming up in a couple of days, actually, what is a Thanksgiving dish that's popular, general, that you really just ain't feeling?
Stuffing.
Stuffing. You don't like stuffing at all?
Nope.
Like never like it?
Never.
I just kind of started liking stuffing maybe in my 20s. Like as a kid, I did not like stuffing at all coming up.
Nope, can't do it.
What about you, Miguel?
Something that's very, very popular and I've never liked, even out of the can, which is popular, is the cranberry sauce. Never cared for it, never loved it. Just never. I just got into sweet potato pie maybe within the last 10 years.
What?
Within the last 10 years.
I'm saying because I'm taking your melanin back. I'm taking
like I said, within the last 10 years, I got into it. Growing up,
what were you eating? Pumpkin?
It could have been. It just wasn't a thing that I think.
I'll be honest with you. I can't tell the difference between.
I can't either, but I was able to tell the difference when my wife's grandmother made it. That was the only time I was ever able to tell the difference between sweet potato pie and pumpkin pie.
I could have
really been able to tell the difference. Whatever reason.
It's like it's texture, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's texture.
Yeah.
Pumpkin pie is like more soft. It's not as thick a texture as the sweet potato pie.
It's like the difference between Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. That's what it's kind of like to me.
Starbucks.
Yeah, Starbucks coffee tastes like it was refurbished, like it's used.
What about you, Jay?
Refurbished. It's a tough question for me because there's stuff that, like, if I don't like the way it look, I just ain't gonna put it on my plate, right? But we actually asked the question on the 10-7 show, and somebody said green bean casserole.
That's not a staple. That ain't never been a staple. Who came up with that crap?
Not in the Brown family.
Hell no.
I've guessed I've seen it on the menu. I don't know, but I've never had it before. So when they said, I mean, it sounded actually kind of good. Like it got the fried onions on it with the. What else go on there besides green bean? No, I don't want no mushrooms though. But I don't.
I don't even know what makes it a casserole. They invented a sweet potato casserole and all this crap. Like, no, man, killing me.
That's for people that are trying to get rid of stuff. The weirdest thing that was brought to a Thanksgiving dinner, and I have to be careful because depending on who's watching, they'll know I'm talking about them. But somebody's wife brought in what?
I'd be careful. That's all.
I'm just. It's a complete violation of all the rules and orders of mixed food. They had raisins in the stuffing.
I've been somewhere where they had that. I didn't like that at all. It just messed up the whole consistency for me. I
And
didn't know.
and
Raisins,
and
raisins don't go into anything. Don't put it in anything for Thanksgiving. Nothing.
right. Anything that looks like an animal turd doesn't shouldn't go in any type of food. Okay. And I feel bad not I feel bad not feel bad, but when nobody was looking, I threw out half of that pan. Um,
You don't want rabbit. You don't want rabbit turds in you.
I'm quite all right. Yeah.
If I had to pick one, I probably had to go with what my wife said on the show on Sunday was turkey. Like I do like turkey, but a lot of times that Thanksgiving turkey, like mm, mm, can
It
fry,
depends.
like, you
You got
gotta get
black meat.
exactly right. You know what I
Ha-
mean? Like,
have you
you don't
have you ever
exactly
you ever
right.
had you ever had the fried turkey?
I have. I have. I enjoyed it too.
My one of my former colleague Jeff Cuff, if you're watching out there, he was the standard barbecuer at the place that you and I both used to work, or you work now. But he's since retired. But he actually did a buffalo turkey.
Hmm.
So he smoked it for like a day, and then did this barbecue or this it was a barbecue hot sauce that he made, and he let that sit for another day, and then he fried it. It was absolutely gorgeous.
I like to go to one of them houses. Somebody who fries a perfect bird. I would like to check it out.
I want to see the ones that do it for the first time and almost burn down the block.
Mm. I'm
I'm scared to. Just because scared to fry. I mean, I don't have a turkey fryer, but you ain't got to worry about. I got air fryer. I fry some air up for you, but I ain't gonna fry up the turkey. I ain't gonna happen. Miguel, put
No
this.
animal turds is my answer.
No, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move
Okay,
on.
okay, all right, cool.
You put this in the notes, and it's interesting because we've had this conversation about umpires before. How I felt about it. MLB to move forward with robot umpires for the 2025 spring training, which means if it does well, if it's received well, eventually it'll be in the real game.
mm.
How are you guys feeling about robot officials? Basically, AI officials. Does that mean there's not going to be umpires on the field? Well, anyway,
No,
I'm
yeah.
gonna let you explain this story.
So part of it is, when they say it under the guise of, um, this is a test. This is to see how everybody likes it. No, what it is the umpire's contract is coming up on a collective bargaining year. They're negotiating to see how this is going to affect their pay, and as long as it doesn't affect their pay, they don't give a crap. That's pretty much what the thing is. But I like it from the standpoint that it's finally. I think American sports is finally more receptive to these types of technologies that have been perfected in Europe, uh, in India, with in out calls, offside calls in soccer, in tennis, and all this stuff. Um, I just always felt like the United States was always far behind when it came to replay technology, because it was always okay. It's almost like they figure out how to do it the cheapest way possible, and it winds up making the game go longer. You know, but at least with the robo umpires, and it's very simple. I don't know if you guys have ever seen how they do it in the minor leagues. If there's a called third strike, the player taps his head. The umpire's like, okay, he'll look up, he'll go like this, and they show the replay on the screen. Ball is out of the zone. It was a strike. Now it's a ball. Simple. Um, but you know, I it should not have come to this point, in my opinion, because I think had the umpires gave a crap enough to protect their art, really, it just seemed like they just cared more about being right than doing right, so to speak.
Um, this is a weird one for me because I, as you were talking, I was just thinking about the different sports
You're right.
and umpires and officials and stuff like that, and I think about basketball. Um, Rob, everybody professionally, and I'm sure that Robbie, that you got fouled times at hack times and it wasn't called. And I'm sure that there's been times where you might have barely got touched and not touched at all, and they may have called a foul. And that's all on judgment, right? Balls and strikes are all on judgment, right? Um,
Is it though? Because I
well,
mean,
depends,
because I
right?
ideally you have to hit it in a zone.
Right, but each umpire has their own zone,
But
and
that's not how it's supposed to be. It's never ever supposed to have been that way.
but it is, right? It just is because they're making the call. So they might like the ball, see the ball up more as a strike than the lower pitch as a strike. So I mean, it's the inside, whatever the case may be. But you have when you said soccer, offsides.
Mhm.
That is a judgment call with a definite outcome, right? A pitcher throwing balls and strikes. If you're saying this is the thing, this is the zone, that's going to have a definite outcome. But offsides in soccer is not really a judgment call.
Mhm.
Like either you were or you won't, or excuse me, you were or you were not. The floating strike, like I'm okay with the replay tapping. I'm okay with that, but I'm not okay with the every pitch because here's what's going to happen: one of two things or both. Games are going to go back to being longer because most pitchers don't throw the ball in the strike zone.
Right.
So guys are not going to be swinging at pitches that they know are not going to be judged as out of the zone, right?
Mhm.
The other thing that's going to happen is pitchers are going to be forced to throw more into the zone and they're going to get blasted. That the game is going to get higher scoring, which the league may want.
Well, and that's on top of them. They're still floating the idea of having a mandate that pitchers throw 6 innings. Um, I think it's either 6 innings and or 100 pitches, whichever you get to first.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think that's a bad idea. So I want
But you know what though, like, and this was the thing that I think we've been talking about for years. How once analytics took over, it was going to micromanage the game to the point of it being unwatchable, right? And that's what happened. The last 2 years, what have they done? They are trying to slowly go back in time to a point in time where the game was watchable. Bigger bases, more safe calls, more stolen bases, getting rid of the shift, more hits. So it's like we're slowly going back to a point in time where you know there nobody gave a damn about the pitch count. I mean, you seen the memes on Nolan Ryan. Uh, uh, there were like 5 different games where he threw like 205 pitches, and then the next game he threw a no hitter, and then the next game he threw like 280 pitches. So it was like, what's the difference? You know what I mean? So it just seems like we're slowly going back to making the game, trying to make the game watchable without telling the players to man up and do what they did back in the day.
well, they already coddled to the players by eliminating the shift. So they already coddling to the players as it is.
But but yeah, and even that, like, there's still a workaround to it, which I'm glad there is, but.
Could you guys imagine if AI refereed the NBA game? There would never be a shot taken. There would never be a shot taken. There would be a carry or palm, whatever you want to call it, would be called on just about every time down court. Pivot, pivot foots, pivot feet. Your pivot foot moves. People's pivot foot moves all the time. That doesn't get called. A lot of 3-4 step lead ups to a layup or whatever.
Well, that's one less thing. That's one less thing that Embiid would have to worry about because he wouldn't be playing.
Here we go.
Excuse me?
You want to kick the man while he's down, don't you?
I think Justin was trying to extend it,
don't you?
I think he was trying to use up all the time, so we didn't get to the.
Did you feel that? Did you get that sense too? And now let's talk about football again. We started off with football, sir.
We teach you guys something from somebody that's been in the business for over.
Learn us, sir. Learn us.
When there's not really something to talk about there, you don't talk about it.
Oh, there's plenty to talk about.
What?
But we've been talking, Rob. I'm sorry, you've been going for. We've been talking about it the last few weeks, and even last week, I said I can't even defend the man anymore. I said it. Go watch. I can't defend him no more.
This guy's out again, and guess who's right along with him? Paul George and there right along with him.
George. Paulie, the old man George.
They just agreed to get that man $212 million.
If you really want to talk about something, let's talk about the rookie Jared McCain.
Oh, killing it.
He balling.
I was not expecting that.
But definitely was not expecting that because that definitely wasn't his role at Duke University.
I wasn't expecting Embiid to actually play either.
Well, we'll have to see. Season don't start till Christmas, so I'll let y'all get back at me at Christmas in a month from now. Exactly a month from now.
I was just talking to a friend before I came in for the podcast, and I was telling them, I hear what Barkley's saying, man. The NBA is gonna fail. Folks, fans are not happy with the product.
No, the product.
You just mentioned with baseball, the analytics has ruined the game.
Sports.
It's either a layup. It's either a layup or a three. There's no craft. Let me get to this 2-spot. Boom. Pull up jumper. Like there's no craft. I'm either jacking a three or I'm driving hard to the basket all the way.
Analytics has also caused football to throw the ball more, which we tend to like. But then when you're a team that needs to run the ball, i.e. the Eagles, you come into the game late when you start running the ball, when you have the best running back in the business. But anyway, AI is doing a lot of sports.
I'm like these guys. It's basketball, man. You make for what guaranteed $1 million. I'm playing all 82 games. We playing basketball. We playing a game. This dude gets $68 million. If he got hurt, let's say he couldn't return from his knee injury, he's getting every last single dime of that money.
Out to his agent.
Every last single dime. If Paul George said, "Oh man, due to health, I can't play it," like he just can't get healthy, he's getting every last single penny of $212 million. They'll be paying these guys for years after they're not playing anymore. Like Stevie Franchise, Stevie Franchise,
McCullough,
Lou Aldang,
Todd McCullough, but I'm just talking about Sixers that are just getting paid or getting paid for them. Todd McCullough, then you had Jamal Mashburn was getting paid.
Oh, I forgot about Jamal.
He never suited up. I don't remember if Andre Kirilenko was getting paid, but he never suited up for the Sixers. No, I think he ended up.
Andrew Bynum. He got some money off of us.
Mr. Cha-Cha.
Bynum. That was another one. So Sixers have a history of paying folks that don't really have.
Signing damaged goods.
Yeah, man. Sixers got a history of it. They got a history of it. And I gave him the kiss of death earlier this year, but I'm still sticking with it. I'm still sticking with my prediction.
I'll give them. I've been hard on about the number one pick. I'll give them a pass on the number one pick. I think they're so horrible at it because they just haven't had it many times. I went back into history and looked. They've only had 4 number one picks, and only one of them is a Hall of Famer, and you know who that is.
I'm going to try to guess the other number one picks. There was Ben Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
Was Markelle Fultz a number one pick?
Mm-hmm.
Allen Iverson.
Mm-hmm.
And can you give me like a time frame of like give me a time span of the year the other one. Wait a minute, was it Billy Cunningham?
Mm-mm.
Give me a time frame. Was it Wilt?
No, white guy.
Wasn't Cunningham? Doug Collins.
Yep.
Doug Collins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got all about Doug.
But Doug Collins, my bad. Doug Collins in the Hall of Fame. They ain't for a player though. He just went in this year.
As a coach or a broadcaster?
I don't know. Probably a broadcaster. What did he do as a coach?
He's another one that had injury. Didn't he have foot issues?
I don't know.
He was supposed to be real good though. Yeah, Sixers have a history of flubbing some draft picks, man. I mean, listen.
But
you get drafted, you get to the point where you can play professionally in any sport. You ain't a bum to me. Don't take my words seriously. But when you got guys like Sharon Wright, right? Like he was supposed to come in here and be big time, man.
Sharon Wright.
Big time, and he just never really panned out, man.
Sean Bradley.
On Bradley. And he actually stayed in the league for a while.
He was the number 2 pick.
He was the number 2 pick.
We should have got Penny Hardaway. That's when we could have Penny Hardaway.
Could have had Chris Webber that year? Oh, Penny.
No, Penny.
Penny. Could have had Penny Hardaway that year.
Yeah.
I don't want to just go like there's been a lot. There's been a lot of draft picks.
We had some good ones. They weren't 1 though. You had Stackhouse at 3.
Stackhouse.
Barkley at 5.
AI. Barkley at Barkley. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just that one spot. Just can't figure it out. It's a lot of pressure.
Sometimes you got a can't miss. Cooper Flag might be a can't miss. I don't think the Sixers get a 1 spot though. Well, if they keep going the way they're going, they're gonna be right there. But I don't think they get. I don't even think they're lucky enough to get the ping pong balls. I
mean, this guy talking about a champ, never going to win a championship with Embiid, and now look what's happening. You're not going. First of all, he can't be traded this year, but next year, nobody going to want him. They should have got rid of him after he won the MVP. I told you.
But who?
Now his stock is going to plummet.
Hold on, because hindsight is 2020, and you sound like a genius right now. But who's really going to trade MVP, and it's going to go over to your fan base like, oh, that was a great move.
Oh, I've been said that. I said it before he won the MVP that he needed to go.
You're not a Sixers fan. You don't count. You don't count.
You're right. I'm a basketball fan.
Fan base that we're trading the MVP, and you're not going to get equal value
because what are we losing? That's the question. They're saying, okay, the fans gonna be mad, but what are they gonna be mad about? What are we losing?
The MVP of the league.
But what are we losing as a team? You're a fan because you want the team to win.
You're losing 30-something points a game. You're losing 15 boards a game. You're losing 5 assists a game.
But in terms of the grand scheme of things,
Lang, for Jeff Hornacek,
in the grand scheme of things, what are we losing as a team? You ain't going anywhere. You ain't win nothing.
Roy Hinton in here, don't you? Because you heard that I beat Roy Hinton in Sixers camp 1-on-1, and you want Roy Hinton back in here, don't you? You want. We played the one. He missed. I scored. Everybody crazy.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Listen. They didn't make it out of the second round ever. So what are we missing? Who cares?
Well, like y'all said, don't matter unless you win a championship, and only one team does that at the end of the year.
And it's hard to win when you don't play.
Like people talk about this load management. They don't understand that affects you. People think like, oh, I'm just gonna rest and I'm gonna come back and kill. It doesn't always work that way, man. You got to get in the flow. I used to not like in Argentina, the top 4 teams would get a bye the first round. So that means that we would have 2 weeks with no games. I hated it. Because we finished the season, we rolling. When you rolling, you just want to keep going. You just want to keep going. Oh, boom, like game after game. I'm going to keep rolling. And then you go on ice for 2 weeks. Playing little scrimmages games here and there. Like, it's not the same, man. And I think that's how you get hurt. I remember listening to Chad Johnson. He was like, yo, I took every snap. I want to get my body ready for the game. And that's the truth. You got to keep you can't just go half. That's why people get hurt who half-assed in practice. You can't just the whole week never even went hard in practice, and then you're going to get in the game and go, like, you're going to hurt yourself. Your body's not prepared for it.
Right.
You know, like I was out of the gym for a month. I couldn't even go play half-court basketball right now. The movement that I want to make, my body is not ready for me to, like I'm going to mess around and pull a hamstring.
Hey, Rob, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. That's called age. I can't do it either.
Listen, even when you're younger, you don't warm those muscles up, man. You don't prepare those muscles, and you go trying to make those movements, man.
But when I was younger, I didn't prepare my muscles, and I went out there and played all the time, and that's probably why I feel the way I do now, as I'm older, and like, yo, don't do it. But when 20 years ago, don't do it now.
It catches up with you, man.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Good friend of mine was a good athlete. Dude couldn't bring his heel to his butt in the quad stretch. He couldn't touch his toes. I'm like, bro, what kind of athlete can't touch his toes?
I was able to touch my toe. I think it was I was running track in high school. I think that was the only time I was able to touch my toe.
You gotta be able to at least touch your toes, man. That's just like you have to be able to at least do 10 push-ups on your own body weight. You gotta be able to lift your
probably played the bass guitar on my hamstrings. They were so tight, man. Telling you. Look, we going. You telling you, man. Look, we gonna get up out of here. Y'all gonna last before we get up out of here.
We just waiting patiently for Embiid to get back on the court.
Y'all wait for that. I'll be waiting patiently for this game on Sunday. Y'all can wait for Embiid if y'all want to. I'm waiting for this game. I'm about the Birds until the Birds ain't playing no more.
There you go.
At least until Christmas.
Oh no, I the only thing I have is in honor of this season, enjoy you, sir, Mr. Hall of Famer, enjoy your wife, and the quiet and the solitude, and make sure you use the bunk bed behind you. And enjoy this season of rest, relaxation, and being with family.
Yes, happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving to you, my brothers. Stay active, earn that turkey.
Definitely gonna do that. And shout out to Kit the Craze, Philly the Craze, Fly Eagles Fly. You already know what it is. Fly Eagles Fly.
Oh, and don't put excrement in your
please don't put excrement anywhere.
In your stuffing.
Or anywhere. Don't put it anywhere except for where it's supposed to go.
Don't put rabbit drops in the stuffing.
No rabbit droppings in the stuffing, please.
Right. And with that, we're going to get up out of here. We appreciate y'all hanging with us here on the CheckSwing Podcast with myself, Coach Santa, the brains and brawn in the situation. Of course, the Hall of Famer, Mr. Rob Battle. We'll talk to y'all next time. Y'all have a good Thanksgiving and eat and sleep and then eat some more. Talk to y'all next time. Peace.
No rabbit crap.